Oh, that's one of my questions.
He said 2 minutes.
Hello, we're back with Talk Back Routine with some of our Urban-Suburban students. And once again, I'm your host, Shantinique Cowans, and my co-host,
Bernard Rodgers.
and my guest host,
Miss Jessica Lewis.
So back into our questions with the one that we left off on. Now that you guys have had some time to think back there, since you guys haven't experienced the urban schools, are there any like misconceptions that you guys had or your friends had looking in on city schools?
A lot of the kids at Brockport, they think that the city schools are very bad and that there's fights every day and drama all over the place.
It's a very common one. I was asked that question a lot when I transferred into the city. It was like, well, was I safe? Did I get into a lot of fights and stuff like that? But, like coming from like both sides, there are a lot of positives and negatives at both schools, but being on one side, you only see like half the picture. And like from like the suburban setting, like it's like you get more opportunities, but there are some things like you don't get because you're in a suburban school, like some of the programs that you get to participate in the city for free, or like scholarship that we got to go to our college. We wouldn't have been able to do that if we got into a suburban school. And then even on like the other side from the urban school, when I was in the suburban school, we got to go on ski trips and stuff. You don't do that in a city school. And, there are like fights and stuff, but they do have like good programs. Like I participated in IB, which like really helps you prepare for college. It's like an international program, and it's just like I never heard of that until I transferred.
Went from urban to suburban. What are some of the similarities and differences that you guys have seen?
A lot of kids that are at certain ages, like certain age groups, like the same things. Like if you're a 5-year-old kid, you like 5-year-old kid stuff. Like it doesn't matter where you come from. You like a yo-yo. Like that's it's gonna be the same. So, I mean, there are things that are gonna be different because of how you're raised, but there's certain other things that are definitely gonna be the same. Like if you're a little girl, you like to play with dolls. Like it's not gonna be any different.
Yeah.
So.
Was there anything that you guys found that was similar in your suburban schools that you might have not thought were going to be that way?
I'd say like the passion for sports and like football are the same between city and suburban schools. Like back in the city, I used to love football, and I never thought like suburban schools would be that crazy about like football teams and like going out and practicing or having fun playing catch. But it's just the same. So
I played softball at William Tyler, and then played softball at Wilson, and it's definitely like you're like both as equally excited and stuff like that. And even like coming from like our standpoint, when we played like suburban schools, it was kind of like we wanted it more because they looked at us like as a city school. They're like, oh, this will be fine, we'll beat them, it's easy. And so it's just like, man, that kind of like shoots you down, but it's just like that's the more reason to like win it. So it's just like you prove that you are equal, because like our love for sports is the same. It doesn't matter where you come from. Were there any like conflicts within the school as far as while you were making that transition, as far as like you being from somewhere else or you not being originally like from the suburban district?
You kind of feel in a way ostracized because at my school, like they've been together since they were in pre-K and kindergarten, so you're coming into something where it's like it's cliquish, and so you're kind of an outsider. I mean, you eventually get in, but when you first start, you're like, well, who do I talk to? What am I supposed to do? Like they already know each other, they already have inside jokes, they already, know each other's whole life story, and I'm not there, so.
Yeah, one important thing that I keep hearing you guys say, and I think it's great that we highlight, is that it's not really what school you go to. You guys can pretty much understand that you're all kids at the end of the day. And like you were saying, you guys all have some of the similar likes and dislikes, and you guys can find out how you all are the same and different, but you can still come together as a group of kids.
Touch on Shantinique's question. Do you guys find yourselves having to explain that you're an urban suburban, or explain to them why you live in the city versus living in your suburban district?
Yeah, I think I get that a lot. Like, people are like, oh, what's the Urban-Suburban program? So it's like you have to explain, oh, I live in the city. Like, someone today just found out, oh, you're in the Urban-Suburban program? Oh, yeah. So they're like, where do you live? I'm like, in the city of Rochester. So, yeah, you do have to explain sometimes. And most of the people out there, they just wonder, like they want to know, like where you come from, and they want to understand you better. They don't want to like judge you. They just want to get to know you.
It's kind of like a good thing that you say that too. Like they want to understand, they want to learn, they want to, cause like you definitely see that like they're willing to know about you and about the city, and they're willing to learn. But I kind of noticed like coming from the other side, you don't see like you see it, but you don't see it as much, cause kind of like when I like transferred, because it was a small town, like didn't know where I was from or nothing. So it's like they didn't really ask me questions about like, oh, what was it like there? It was kind of like, okay, now you just fit in, and we'll talk about what happens here. So it's good that they actually do that, and they want to engage with you and like ask about that.
I know we talked about a little bit about this already, but can you guys like walk us through like a day in your school system or your school and what it's like versus being in an urban setting?
It's a lot the same. I mean, you talk to your group of friends or whoever you talk to, you go to breakfast if you go to breakfast, you go to class.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing more that you do any different because you go to a different school. There's certain things that you do in school that are gonna happen no matter where you go, so.
Okay.
How I said like in the city, it's like mainly, Black and Hispanic kids. You guys notice any like racial changes or like racial conflicts being in this urban school, like as far as, you gotta take a little more time to like fit in, or you notice that you like have this small population kids who look like you or like that? Like, did you notice any of that when you first changed, or do you notice it now?
I remember when the election first started, when Obama first ran, and it got interesting at school because it was like a lot of Black kids felt like, it's Obama, he's Black, we have to be like supportive, and a lot of like white kids like, we don't like. Anywhere you go, there are going to be certain people that don't accept, and you have to accept that. So it was certain kids that were like slashing Obama or write "No Obama" on lockers or things like that. Like those things happen. It's life, and I don't know, like that's how it's going to be sometimes. And it just shows you how real life is. Like it doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter that you go in a city school or you go in a suburban school. There are going to be people who don't accept. So.
In Brockport, there's some of the kids, like, I want to say segregated, sort of. Like, it's like the minorities, some of the kids from the city, and then in another group, the kids that are already in Brockport. And, like, they've known each other forever, and they try and stay away because they think we're going to do something bad or we're going to hurt them. But once they get to know us, we start coming together and like as one whole group.
Okay. With that, like I noticed when you like introduced yourself that it sounds like you speak fluent Spanish. Like, do you speak fluent Spanish?
A little bit. I get shy with it though.
Do you speak with your friends like at school in Spanish? Like some friends, do you have any that speak Spanish with you?
Yeah.
How do people look at that when they see you and hear you and your friends speaking Spanish?
They look at us and they ask us, they're like, can you please speak in English? And like my friend, she'll say, well, there's a reason why there's Spanish classes here so you can learn too. And like me and my friends, we try to teach like other people that don't understand Spanish. We try to teach them it. So like for like Spanish homework, if somebody needs help, they'll ask me or one of my friends and we'll help them with it so they can like understand it more.
That's good that you do that. It helps them immerse like the opposite way and like get into like different culture and stuff like that.
Are there any opportunities for you guys to express your culture in the suburban setting?
Didn't you say you're in diversity club?
Yeah.
So tell us what you do there.
We try to like, I know in the end of the year we have a diversity club assembly, meaning we bring like people from different cultures together and like you show some of your talents with that culture and like you share like traditional music, dance, songs. That's basically it. And then we like, I know for Hispanic Heritage Month, we made posters of different Latino countries and we put on little facts about them.
You guys, most of you said no, like you guys don't get that opportunity to do that, but as you go throughout high school, like, and then you go into college, like, you'll notice that it gives you more of an opportunity to do so because it's like a larger playing field. So you have people from all over the country, not just from that area. And then you have people from all different cultures and languages and backgrounds. And you'll definitely, like, not, even if not now, eventually get to experience that. Because, like, I have 2 roommates. I'm Jamaican, the other one happens to be Jamaican, and my other roommate is Indonesian, and we always go back and forth with our cultures and our foods and our music and, like, the language and stuff like that. And, like, you'll find that you have a lot of similarities with other people from different backgrounds. Like, I didn't know that Indonesians like mango. I was like, what? Like, they like oxtails and stuff like that. And I was just like, I didn't even think you knew about that. And so you'll like come to know that when you like go off into like the workforce, or you go off into like the military or to college, you'll meet other people, and then you guys hopefully will be able to experience that as well.
I definitely commend you guys for being a part of a program like this, because it's not easy at all. Totally giving up what you know to go into something else that's totally different. And that's something that me and Shantinique know now as college students. College is definitely a whole nother playing field, like she was saying. So we definitely understand that it's not easy, and we commend you guys for being open to learning about a different culture. And it seems like you guys have all taken a positive look at it, and it's helping you guys become better people.
Would you say there are any costs to being in the program, as far as like, I know you said that like if you participate in certain programs, sometimes it's hard to get back home. Like, do you guys have to make sacrifices due to the fact that you live in the city but you go to this school through the program? Like, as far as like going home, or like you have to cut back what kind of things you can participate in because you can't stay as late. Like, are there any costs to being in this program?
I'll say one thing to that, because I was in Urban-Suburban, and fitting in was a cost. Because when I lived in the city, we did not have a lot of money. And when I went to school, kids were wearing Abercrombie & Fitch, American Eagle. I was wearing Kmart, Walmart, and Payless. And so there was a cost there, where I wanted to fit in and wear the same things that the other kids wore, but my family couldn't afford that. And it wasn't until that I got a job myself that I was able to now purchase the clothes so that I wouldn't look so much different than other people. A lot of the kids, when they turned 16, they were driving. They all had nice cars. I did not have a nice car. I had my parents' car while they had their own cars. So again, the socioeconomic status really played a factor in my experience. And I don't know if you guys experienced that in your schools.
I think that's a very great point that you brought up. How did you deal, we'll get back to the students, but how did you deal with knowing that, and before you could get that job to purchase the things you kind of wanted? What was that step-by-step process to begin to deal with that?
Well, I think you have to really just be confident in yourself, and not let what's around you kind of deter you, and really know what you're going to that school for to get an education. Like, you have to know what's most important, because you can easily get caught up in the drama, and the superficial things that happens in high school. Again, like the clothes and the popular girls, and the hair was a big thing. I don't know if you guys experienced that, but hair was a big thing, because our hair doesn't look like their hair. We don't wash our hair every day. We have to get relaxers. That's a huge thing. You have to explain that. Or if you went swimming in gym class, you have to explain, you know what I mean? And so it's definitely a learning experience. It's a process, but I think it makes you better as you grow up. Because once you go to college, again, like my roommate was Jewish, she was from Long Island, and she was rich. So here we go again, once I get to college, but it taught me, you know what I mean, how to live with her and how to tell her again about using a lotion, using hair grease. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Okay.
I definitely can touch on the same thing where, like, I feel like being, like, in both settings, it helped me grow, because, like, in the suburban settings, like, they were wearing, like, Abercrombie and Fitch and Hollister to go play outside in the mud and I seen it that early, but then I come to the urban school and, like, then, like, my sophomore year, there's this huge craze, let's buy Hollister. And I'm just like, why is it such a big deal? These kids been wearing it since they were, like, 5, playing in the mud and building sand castles and stuff like that. And then even with, like, the whole hair thing, like, I'd have braids and take them out, have my hair in a ponytail, and they're like, and I'd take it out to, like, fix it up and put it back, and they're just like, oh my God, can I touch that? And I'm just like, sure. They're like, shake it, and, like, all different kind of stuff. And it's just like, there definitely was, like, a difference, like, especially in hair. Like, I even have a friend that her roommate, like, she's, African American, her roommate's Caucasian, like, she's from Syracuse and her roommate's from California, and her literal, like, word for word, her question was, "How does your hair work?" And I was just like it's not even like formed any kind of way. Like, oh, what do you do with your hair? How do you style it? It's just, how does it work? And I was just like, well, she had to actually go through step by step and show her like how do I take care of my hair? How do I do this? Washing it, doing all kinds of stuff like that. So just like, the hair is definitely a big thing.
I see that touched a chord with you.
Yeah, because it reminded me of that where they're like, oh, can I touch it? I'm just like, just hair. Like I didn't like kind of understand that, but then you definitely like see that like more people ask you questions about like it's a very big difference when you're you and you go into the suburban program.
Yeah, but I'm glad you shared that because I know a lot of students in that situation, not even just in the urban-suburban program, might have those same concerns or be going through those same things, and they never voice it because they just think it's it's just them. Or there's even been kids just in the urban setting alone that's gone through those types of things. And I think that it is important because, like you said, in life, as you guys go on in life and you go to college and you pursue things that you desire, you'll find that, like Shantinique said, there will be tons of people asking questions like, how does your hair work? And it's not that they're rude, they're just curious. It's something new. And I know from seeing you group of kids here today that you all are open to learning about different cultures and having people learn about yourselves. So I think that's just amazing at your age that you guys are open to that.
And one other question, do you guys ever invite your friends to your homes?
So your eyes go wide with that one.
Yes, no, why or why not?
Well, I did. I was going to have a party, I think it was in 7th grade. It was 7th or 8th grade, and I was going to have a party. It was going to be at my house, and that's over Thurston, Genesee area, and no one wanted to come. They were like, my mom said I can't come because it's in the city, and she doesn't want me to be there. And it caused a lot of, I don't know, like a wall in some friendships because I felt like their parents weren't accepting. And I don't know, like I could go out there, but they couldn't come with me. Like that was difficult sometimes.
Yeah, I noticed the same thing because when I was out in Charlotte and I think it was I don't even remember what grade, it was like 7th grade, 6th or 7th grade. For my 13th birthday, I invited a bunch of friends to come celebrate my birthday with me. And my parents already looked into that, and they figured it would be a problem. So instead of having it at my house, we had it at my grandparents' house, which it was still in the city, but it was like borderline. If you were to look at the neighborhood and stuff like that, it would look the same, other than the fact that like the location was different. So we had it there, so it wouldn't be anything with like people being uncomfortable or parents like having a problem with it or anything like that.
I tried. It's difficult because like Brockport and then the city, that's like a 45-minute drive. Especially like the further into Brockport you live, it's longer. So we'd like have to, if I wanted to meet with one of my friends from Brockport, we'd have to meet like halfway.
What about you, Ebony?
My friends come over all the time. So yeah, it's just sometimes it's hard making plans because like you can't just pick up one day and say, oh, let's just hang out after school. Like it has to be planned out beforehand because it's not like down the street. But yeah, my friends come over a lot.
What parts of the city do you guys like particularly like live in? Because I know like I think that for like in order to be considered for urban-suburban, you have to be living in the 19th ward. So I know like you can't really like, is that it or
everybody.
No? Oh, okay, because I know at one point someone told me that like you have to live in the 19th ward or something. But I know like it'll be easier to like invite your friends over if you live on the west side of the city rather than to the east side of the city. Because I go over there and I wouldn't want to take friends from there and bring them there either because they'd be uncomfortable. So like.
All right, so one final question, guys. Students coming into the urban-suburban program, a word of advice.
I don't know, expect more from teachers and try to be open to learning about people and try to be open to new experiences.
If you go to a new school, just be open, make as much friends as you possibly can, whether it's from the kids on the bus or the kids that go to the suburban school. They'll accept you no matter what, as long as you're being yourself.
I would just say to embrace it to the fullest and use every opportunity you can, like getting extra help and stuff from your teachers.
I'd say be yourself, but be ready, be open for change and how to change like how you go about academically and sort of socially.
I'd say have fun, but at the same time, make sure you take advantage of all the opportunities that you get.
Definitely be open and put your best foot forward. Like, try and give 100% in everything that you do because it's only going to work to your advantage. Like, be proud of yourself and everything that you do.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, thank you guys.
Yeah, one bit of advice, remember someone's always watching, so you definitely, while you're out there, put your best foot forward, like that one, because like when it comes to other schools looking at you and kids looking at you because you're different and stuff, like you want definitely show them your best so that they see nothing but your best. So yeah, congratulate you guys for being in this program. Once again, I'm your host Shantinique, I keep saying guest, my co-host.
Bernard Rodgers.
And this is Talkback for Teens. And remember to check out our website, talkbackforteens.com, and that's with a 4. Check out our Instagram page, our Facebook page, our Twitter. If we put something up there, repost it, retweet it, everything. We like to hear back from all our viewers. Thank you.
Their reaction when you tell them you go to a suburban school now, or
Yeah.
what do they ask? Like,
Just knocking down my questions. Sorry. Gosh, that's fun.
like that.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. He's just gonna cut that out. Okay. No, it's because I gave it to John to take photos. Woo!
Good job, guys. But she wants to take a photo real quick.
I wanna be there in the sun. I wanna be there far away. I'll meet you on holiday. And holiday